Investing in tech companies is investing in the future. Now, I know it sounds like a sales pitch, but it's actually kind of true. Humankind has unlocked such a fast and amazing ramp in technology over the past 30 years that we literally can't predict where we'll be 20 years from now. Like, just let it seep in for a moment. 30 years ago, we were like using Walkmans with cassettes in them. So, what will the future bring? Will AI have taken over the world? Are we finally living on Mars? Maybe we're all cyborgs? And hey, maybe we'll finally figure out why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch so goddamn much, man. I fucking love it. With tech companies pushing the boundaries of our civilization, there is gains to be made in your portfolio by choosing the winners of the next decade. Tech stocks are highly competitive, as the nature of the industry is to achieve monopoly and supply the best and only option for the customers. Due to this environment, they can be highly volatile with lots of movement and fluctuations in price. It is not unprecedented to see many days of 4% or above movements as you own a tech stock. Investing in these type of stocks are therefore not for the faint of heart and requires a strong knowledge basis to make the right choices. It's why so many people, such as the famous Warren Buffett, tend to stay away from this industry, because if you don't know what you're doing, it can seem very unpredictable and very confusing. Like, just look at Tesla.
Have you ever had a dream that you had you could you do you want you could do so you do you could you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Okay, so why should you invest into this stuff? It seems rather foolish, doesn't it? Like when Disney thought they could make Star Wars movies. But let's take a quick look at my portfolio from 2019. It doesn't look so foolish now, does it? This is what I want to get at with this video. If you know what you're doing and really take the time to understand technology as a whole, then it's not difficult to pinpoint the current and future winners. And that is where your gains will be, and they can be, as you can see, quite significant. So, before we take a look towards 2020, let's take a look back at what happened in 2019. First of all, the word that is on everyone's lips, AI. Will we create our own doomsday robot? It's not very likely. Not in the near future at least, hopefully, fingers crossed. However, AI technology has taken great leaps in data collection and is highly sought after in almost all industries. AI can be tinkered and effectively specified for whatever task it is you want optimized. Things such as full self-driving, Instagram filters, ads, Siri and Alexa, and etc. rely on AI to perform and optimize its tasks. It's something we'll see a lot more in the future, and it will be highly ingrained in our everyday lives. An even greater leap happened in 2019 in the CPU space. Consumer and workspace CPUs saw a doubling of cores, a massive jump in performance for high compute tasks that will definitely influence technology and science as a whole in the very near future. It should not be underestimated what effect this will have on future research of scientific fields such as medicine, physics, astrology, etc. And with this, higher requirements for data collections continue to increase, and it is still in very high demand. Experts predict the market for data centers will double by the end of 2021, and this growth is expected to continue well into the future, making it a very profitable growth market to invest into. And of course, lastly, everyone is talking about Tesla. This company needs a whole video of its own, so I won't go into much detail, but the Cybertruck, and the best thing is, it won't run on freedom gas either. But the jokes aside, let's take a look at the best tech stocks of 2020. First up is AMD. AMD is one of the biggest hitters in 2019, claiming over 140% growth in their stock. They have produced this amazing result by simply making cheap, efficient, and highly competitive CPUs with the Ryzen technology. Ryzen ramped this year with the 3000 series, beating their competitor Intel by a mile in price to performance. Added to this, the launch of second-gen EPYC server processors were a direct death blow to Intel's offers in the market. This has caught the attention of Wall Street, funds, and many private investors, since AMD will almost have monopoly in the market until Intel can answer back sometime in 2023. And by technology years, that's like a decade. So looking ahead, AMD will most likely launch Big Navi based on RDNA 2 to compete with Nvidia and their 2080 Ti, attempting to claim another market segment. However, this is of now pure speculation, but AMD has dropped a few hints. With the recent CES, AMD also launched the 4000U, bringing competition to the laptop space, something that Intel has solely claimed for many years. The important thing to take note of is that AMD is hitting every market segment, and they are hitting them hard. They're not holding back, and they're expanding rapidly, giving very little room for the competition to fight back or even catch up. AMD is sticking to the roadmap with no delays, and the road to 5 nanometer is going smoothly, something that the competition cannot boast of. This makes AMD an extremely important buy, which many analysts agree with. However, AMD is not doing this on their own, and sometimes analysts tend to forget that. The reason for AMD's success can somewhat be pointed towards TSM. Now, TSM is a fab company producing the chips and chiplets that AMD uses for their processors. This is really important to take note of, since AMD's success and roadmap relies on TSM. TSM has seen almost 100% gain in 2019 given their products and their successful execution. The ramp to 5 nanometer is on the way, and they're claiming strong gains already. Given TSM is one of the strongest in the market, with no signs of stopping, they should see great growth in 2020 as demand rises for the production. Hence, they should be a really good investment. The third stock is Tesla. Now, this is somewhat of a controversial stock, since many claim that Tesla is overvalued, its production is low, they don't have demand, blah 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 blah. It's all FUD, and the last few months have really gone to show that. Shorts are covering their losses. Tesla is ramping rapidly with the Shanghai Gigafactory. Model Y is starting its production 1 year earlier than estimated. And the Cybertruck, despite its polarizing looks, has set records for pre-orders never seen before. And then you have the EU factory starting its building process in 2020. You can argue that there's no other company with as much growth in 2019 as Tesla, and we will only see this growth continue into 2020. People also tend to forget that Tesla is more than a car company. It's a full package. With solar to charge your house and your car, and world-class battery packs, Tesla offers so much more. It is a complete unit of energy production and storage, which is only increasing in demand as we speak. The world is changing to green energy, and the grids need the batteries to be stable. The ramp of Tesla Solar has only just started, and we will see major strides in 2020. And with the upcoming Investor Battery Day, we will have exciting information of the next generation of batteries to come. And did I even mention the supercharger network? Don't expect the road to be nice and steady though. Tesla has always seen a lot of movement, and there's no reason for it to stop now. It's a very hype-biased stock, so you can expect it to move depending on the public and media's opinion on it. However, I still feel like it's a really strong investment for 2020. Lastly, there's Microsoft. To cover Microsoft to its full extent would take hours. It is a massive growth company with its hands in data center, AI, software, hardware, and so on. It has seen a steady growth over the years with good dividends pay and overall good performance. This is definitely one of the safer investments you can make in the tech industry, and one you would be able to hold for many years to come. I highly recommend you take this stock and study it, since there's a lot to be covered. Microsoft is not only a Windows developer. And of course, there's always Google, if you can afford it. So those are my top picks for 2020. I want to end this video with a lesson that changed my perspective on investing. I think it's a really important one, especially when it comes to trading tech stocks, so that's why I would really like to share it. Like I mentioned early in the video, a lot of people, even hardcore professionals, are afraid to trade in the tech market. It simply boils down to that you need to know your shit. Having a strong investment basis is not quite enough. You need to be knowledgeable about technology and where the future is taking us. Now, I watched a YouTube video when I was starting my journey on investing, and things hadn't really gone well for me. I was losing money, mostly because I was listening to other people's suggestions and trying to copy what they were doing. So I wasn't really taking notice of what I was good at and what I excelled in. So basically, this guy in the video said, it's better to be an expert in one stock than to invest in 20 stocks you know nothing about. This really flipped my mindset on how to invest, and I saw immediate results from it. It is so vital that you take the time to study a stock, form your own opinion, and from that basis, figure out whether or not you want to invest in it. So this video as a whole is supposed to be seen as inspiration and not a guideline. I invite you to take my suggestions and do your own research. Take note that it's okay to only invest in one stock when you're starting out if you're a beginner. Diversification is a word that's, thrown around a lot in the stock market, but how much you want to diversify is actually up to you. I personally have $10,000 spread across 2 stocks. So again, do your own research and make your own decisions. I hope this video helped you out. Maybe you learned a thing or two or got inspired. If you haven't started investing yet, I highly recommend you start as soon as you can. It's one of those life skills that are just really good to have, like how to put up a shelf or make a good steak. Remember, you don't need $10,000 or $5,000 to start investing. I personally started with $400 myself, and from there built up my portfolio. If you have any feedback for my video, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future content. This is my first go at it, my first attempt, so any feedback will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Until next time, guys. Next time? What?